Hi there, and welcome to another art meme review video. I am your host, Hisame. You guys really enjoyed these, so I'm just gonna keep making them because they're so much fun. I love sharing art memes. It kind of helps with the pain and the struggle to um, kind of express myself and share with you guys and laugh about the troubles we have. And for those of you that aren't artists, like this is a good way to kind of peek into what it's like to be an artist if you want to become one, or just if you have friends and family or you're interested in artists. And so our first meme, how digital painting works. Oh yeah, value, perspective, composition, lighting, anatomy, narrative, color, tangents. So much stuff you have to think about. Just making art is a series of long little decisions, and you never know if you've made the right ones a bajillion decisions ago until you kind of get to the 80% of the illustration done and can kind of be sure if you failed or not. But what a lot of people think it is, oh, computer, draw me a knight on a horse with dappled light coming through the trees, and the computer's just working. We haven't gotten that to that point yet with our technology, where you can just ask the computer to do that. Um, So, for those of you that are artists, on a scale of 1 to 10, how triggered are you by this meme? Because it's definitely bringing up bad memories for me, and I'm getting very angry just thinking about it. Like, if you want to piss off an artist, this is one way to do it. Um, but be warned, violence may ensue afterwards. So you do this at your own risk. You've been told what the consequences may be. So, good luck with that. Another meme that I always find funny. God, why did you make me so ugly? God, this is just my art style. So, kids remember Picasso wasn't a bad artist. He was pretty mediocre, if you ask me. It was just his style to draw things very um, creatively. Let's say it like that. I mean, the art community is very diverse. You see all kinds of stuff. But there are gonna be many artists that aren't very good, or they're trying to be edgy or to be annoying, and they'll just say, "Oh, it's my art style," and then they get like this huge fan base of other trolley people, and it's just like they want to annoy artists that know how to draw well and like to draw well. It's sort of this pretty art versus bad art, and it's like, oh, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And since so much of art is a popularity contest, often stuff like this will win, um, and even win financial prizes. So it's kind of annoying if you dedicate so much of your life to making pretty art, and then somebody comes along, low effort, does something like this, and they're like, "Oh, it's my art style." So this is kind of a bit of an insight into the art community and how we are at each other's throats more often than not. Since what is considered great art is very, I don't know if I should say subjective, it's more political than subjective. uh, and types of headaches: migraine, hypertension, stress, trying to draw the second eye. For me, it's the hands. I mean, if you've seen my slideshows, my videos, the face is okay, I think, but the hands are often like they're pretty bad. I'm not good at drawing hands. It is a constant source of frustration and uh, exhaustion for me and waste of time and just trying to draw hands. I have gotten better than I was 10, 20 years ago, but oh my gosh, hands are the worst for me. Uh, this person here says Rage Against the Machine. Never specified what type of machine they were furious, but I reckon it was probably a printer. I find this meme so relatable. I don't know if it's a meme because it doesn't have an image, but it's more like a tweet. I'm gonna put it in the meme category because I think it's very relevant to our topics of discussion here. Printers, for those of you that don't know, are one of the greatest sources of pain, struggles, frustration, crying, lots of crying for artists. Like, I don't know if there's anything that saddens us more than the thought of and actually having to work with a printer. Like, forget drawing eyes or noses or hands or anything. Having to use the printer, whatever the reason, you need to duplicate your art, or I don't know, you did something digitally and you need to print it, or even if you have business cards you want to print. Oh my gosh. So, the reason I had to get printers for my home was because I moved away from a big city, so I couldn't just go downstairs and give them the stick and have something printed at triple the price or quadruple the price that I would have at my home. The mere thought of having to work with a printer myself, I would rather um, pay extra and have this thing I need printed properly from the get go. And I have to worry about refills and programming errors and everything else. Oh my god, it's bringing back my trauma. So anyway, very expensive. Like, now I have a Canon printer. It's been working for 4 years. It did have a bit of error recently. My husband managed to fix that because I'm so lucky. I have a husband that can fix pretty much anything as long as it's not catastrophically broken. He can make it work. And it was 400 euros. Like, this isn't cheap, and the paper isn't cheap, and the ink isn't cheap. But I don't live in a big city anymore, so sometimes when I have to get stuff printed, I and also it's very expensive to print stuff. You're cheaper if you're doing it at home, so it's an investment that's saving you money. But oh my god, printers. God damn printers. Ah, it's I hate them. I hate them so much. Uh, yeah, the printer that simply worked and other fairy tales. It is a fairy tale that it would like it. I think even when you install it, like, it will work well for a month, and then something's gonna happen and it's not gonna be working. I had Epson printers before. They're utter trash. Never get one. I've been telling people to stay away from Epson printers for the last 10 years. I'm 8, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've been just telling people do not even look at an Epson printer. They are the worst thing that ever was built for an artist. I have a Canon. It's not cheap. It's semi-professional or professional grade anyway. I had it for, like I said, 4 years or more, and still working. So you cannot buy a cheap printer and expect it to work for more than a year. That's kind of it, sadly. Oh, the world right now and art dealers. Anyone want to buy a painting? Honestly, I'm surprised that art dealers still exist. Like, I don't know how old this meme is. Like, I don't know. Do you still exist? Are you out there? Are you doing anything? There were a lot of art galleries in our capital city that have closed down and are now mobile phone shops. um, but also, the small cinemas have closed down, which makes me very sad because I really enjoyed going to those and watching films. I don't know. Was it ever like that for art? Like, I've been painting for many years. I've never had an art dealer. Never dealt with a gallery. They always like very weird stuff that it could be confused for trash. If you're not an aficionado, like you would not be able to tell the difference. Also, they always hate anime art, so like boo on you if you're going out of business because you hate anime. It's karma. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to be mean without fully understanding something. So, if you're an art dealer, let us know, why do you exist? What is your purpose? How would you describe a competent art dealer? Like, I've never met one. It's usually just money laundering or some other scheme. Or they just want really art that most people would consider bad. It's not as, I mean, in supermarkets, like at you can find those kind of crappy, kitschy arts for people at the supermarket. So that's one extreme where you can buy a painting from Walmart or Carrefour. Uh, Hornbach as well. They sell paintings for homes, and they're usually pretty bad. And then you have the other extreme with the art galleries and the art dealers, and it's just total insanity. Most people wouldn't want that in their house. So I'm kind of curious, what is the deal with these like two extremes, and if you're like a more normal artist, like where would you fit in? Have you worked with art dealers? Like I said, I never have. I've only briefly seen them. They seem to be human, but there's not much else I know about them. Maybe I said hello to a couple. So yeah, let us know what's going on with you guys. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about, this meme. I really love it. So it's like, first panel, there's this girl, and she hears her husband, "Hey, honey, I'm home," and she, the artist, is like, "Can't talk right now. I'm in the art zone." And I have to say that as an artist myself that can get into the art zone, I'll sit like maybe 8 hours on a chair and just draw, draw, draw. And the only reason I'll get out of the art zone is because my uh, bladder is like, I quit. I'm not supporting your unhealthy lifestyle. I am out of here. I need to empty. So that's usually how it was for me. Now I have a cat and a husband, so I can no longer um, sit in the art zone for an unhealthy number of hours. Um, but I get so much stuff done when I'm not perturbed, and it's usually my sweet spot at the moment is between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. And this other meme is like, artists all day, and they're like, oh, exhausted. And the next panel, it's artists. It's 3 a.m. for some reason, and we're perky and energetic. And yeah, I love to make something sugary and warm at the middle of the night and just do the art. Um, it's especially good for me when my husband goes to bed early at 12. Usually he stays up as well because he has a lot of work to do, and neither one of us is a morning person. Um, but if he goes to sleep and takes the cat with him, and I have peace and quiet to do my stuff, is like when I can get into like the so-called art zone and get a lot of stuff done, and I feel so productive and accomplished and efficient, and yay. I'm getting stuff done, and it's looking good. uh, Another depressing meme after that happy one. So, chasing payments, yeah, working for free. I've never worked for free until I met my husband, because he asked me for stuff for his work. And I can't say no to him. He's so nice. I can't tell him no. um, Self doubt, yeah, never had problems with that. Anxiety, never a problem for me. Health, yes, I do tend to overwork and neglect my health. Uh, Learn to code. Why the why do artists have to learn to code? Like, you people realize they're different, very different subjects, specializations. It always grinds my gear whenever I see a job offer and they want you to be an exceptionally wow artist and also be a very good programmer where the code works very good. Uh, how many people on earth do you think are gonna have such a broad um, range of skill sets, good skill sets on that? Like, how many Leonardo da Vinci's do you think there are on this planet living today? And how many of them do you think are gonna work for your crappy salary? I'm sorry, you're asking for something ridiculous, and what you usually are gonna get is a scammer that tells you they can do them, and they can't, or they steal, and that's what's gonna happen. Make the logo bigger. That's why I always do logos in vector. Um, Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator is usually the one that's most used. You can also do it in Clip Studio Paint. To a lesser extent in Photoshop, there are some vector options there, but they're not great. But yeah, always make logos in vector. Even if the client doesn't know what you're speaking, the words that are coming out of your mouth, and they're too lazy to Google it, just do the logo in vector to be sure. So that you don't get him asking later and refusing to pay because he's ignorant and wants the logo in some other way that needs to be completely redrawn. Making it vectors helps you a lot. Back pain, yes. I am above average height, so that is an issue for me. Often, like furniture be too short, and I have to bend a lot. It's not that bad for me. My husband has it worse off because he's even taller than me. We're both above average height for our country. Like when we lived in the US, it was okay. The furniture was big enough. Design changes. Awesome, yeah. If you're paying, I'm doing. Eye problems. Yes, I mean, I have that as well. Check the box. Update my portfolio. Probably should do that. We should all probably do that. We always put it off. And of course, Adobe crashing, because of course it's gonna crash. It's a pretty poorly programmed um, software. I prefer working in Clip Studio Paint. And yeah, that's kind of very accurate meme here. Yeah, and this one, I think it still counts as a meme, even if it's like a call to action. Support living artists, the dead ones don't need it, unless we're in the Marvel's zombie universe. Don't know if you guys saw the Marvel's What If cartoon series, pretty neat. And one episode, everybody's a zombie because the quantum virus from the quantum realm uh, has quantumly come into our universe, and now they're all zombies. Because that's how viruses and quantum stuff works. Yeah. So unless they're zombies, yeah, support living artists. If we had zombies, then don't discriminate. People are people. Yeah, so that was it. Thank you for watching. Let me know what I should do next. What do you want to find out about the art world? I make videos based on your guys' request. And yeah, join me. Can find me on various social media platforms. I'm Hisame Artwork everywhere. You can buy my art in Sati6 on Redbubble and Lulu. You can commission me on Fiverr. If you just want to support, you can find me on Coffee and Patreon. And you can follow and connect with me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, etc., etc. I think I'm even on Tumblr, but I don't check in there. So yeah, best look at these here on the screen. And yeah, thanks. See you in the next video. Bye bye.